Serving southern New Mexico, this is the award-winning KRWG-TV News 22, where news matters.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Danielle Gutierrez.
And I'm Victoria Valderrama. Within the next couple of years, Las Cruces will have a brand new school building.
And this one was not on any long-range plan. The Las Cruces School Board voted unanimously last night to demolish Columbia Elementary School and build a new school on the same land. The school was created in September because of serious problems with mold. Tearing it down will cost about $1 million. A new school will cost more than $30 million. In the meantime, Columbia Elementary students will continue to have school at Centennial High School. We'll have more on this story tomorrow. Students at a Rio Rancho High School are back in class after a student fired a gun there last week. Police say 16-year-old Joshua Owen intended to kill his ex-girlfriend. He fired the gun, then ran away. No one was hurt. Owen has been ordered to undergo mental health evaluations. Police are investigating a freak accident that killed a man in Anthony. They believe 20-year-old Aram Dorado Marin started his truck, then went to open a gate in the driveway, but the truck then rolled backward over him. Dorado Marin was pronounced dead at the scene.
Investigations continue. An ATV crash that happened Tuesday near Santa Teresa. Police say the ATV collided with a truck at an intersection. 3 passengers on the ATV were ejected. They included a 14-year-old, 2-year-old, and their mother. Both the mother and the 14-year-old were taken to an El Paso hospital. Police say none of the riders were wearing helmets.
So no snow today, but it is pretty cold outside.
Yes, it is, and Andres is next with a first look at weather.
Yeah, it was awesome to go see those snow flurries yesterday, but today was a story of it being clear and a lot colder. Right now we're looking at 40 degrees. Winds coming from the southwest at 10 miles per hour, and our humidity at 25%. And our barometer sits at 29.80 inches. As for today, we were below average. We only reached a high of 53 degrees when we should be around 65. We did see some of that snow flurry, some of that moisture in yesterday, so that brought our yearly rainfall at 0.08 inches. Now we do have another storm system moving into our area. I'll detail all that coming up.
And the 4th annual Las Cruces International Film Festival is underway. It kicked off last night at the Rio Grande Theater downtown.
News 22's Denise Najera was there and met the star of the evening, actor Edward James Olmos.
It's only been a few months since Edward James Olmos was in Las Cruces. Last fall, he was here filming the movie Walking with Herb. Tuesday night, he was in town to receive the Mark Medoff Humanitarian Award.
Mr. Olmos, you certainly embody success and responsibility.
He has been acting since 1974 and is known worldwide for roles such as Jaime Escalante in Stand and Deliver and William Adame in TV's Battlestar Galactica. He says acting is not something he was born to do.
I went through a process. It wasn't like I came out of my mother's womb saying to be or not to be. And from rock and roll band singing, I went into college in 1964 and I took my first acting class to help me as a singer. And then I merged together performance, singing, acting, drama, all together. And so that's when it started, and it culminated itself in 1978 when I did El Pachuco and Zuzu.
And to his fans, he has become the person he was portraying.
My dad and I are huge fans of Olmos since Jaime Escalante days. And then when I was finally old enough to watch American Me, so we're huge fans of his and really proud that he was doing a film here in Las Cruces.
As one of the best-known Mexican-American actors, he means something special to the Latino community. And since he worked in Las Cruces last fall, he means something special to NMSU.
Well, I was proud, obviously, to be living here in Las Cruces, but then also to be working in the College of Arts and Sciences, that our faculty and our students were getting to work on that movie and get experience as well.
Las Cruces filming was excellent. It was the craftsmanship, the professionalism, the cooperation of the community was overwhelming. And I felt, and I still feel, that this film is probably the most community-based film I've ever been a part of in the history of my life. There's no art film that I've ever made where the community has really turned out as they have here.
Denise Nájera, News 22.
The film festival continues through Sunday. Films will be shown through the festival, mostly in the Cineport 10 Theater in the Mesilla Valley Mall. Tomorrow at 2, comedian George Lopez will speak to NMSU students at the Corbett Center. Other guests scheduled at the festival include actor-producer Beverly D'Angelo, actor Zoe Perry, producer Don Foster, and actor-producer Kathleen Quinlan. You can find more information online at the Las Cruces International Film Festival.
Free Wi-Fi, anyone? Anyone visiting downtown Las Cruces will soon have access to free Wi-Fi. The City Council approved installation of 6 Wi-Fi access points in the Plaza de Las Cruces area. The council approved nearly $130,000 to hire an Albuquerque network company to set it up. It will not require a password, but will ask users to agree to terms and conditions.
The Mueller investigation is nearing its end, according to several sources close to the investigation. The investigation could be wrapped up as early as next week. Once the investigation is complete, a sealed report will be delivered to Attorney General Bill Barr. Under U.S. law, Barr legally does not have to disclose the findings. However, Barr before said he plans to be transparent and reveal any findings if there is needed. Barr has also said in the past he does not agree with publicizing lewd private events about the president. And President Trump is facing another legal challenge. A former Trump campaign employee is suing to invalidate every non-disclosure agreement that was signed by a campaign employee. Jessica Denson claims the NDAs are unenforceable because they are vague and they violate local, state, and federal public policy. In 2017, Denson filed another lawsuit claiming she experienced sexual discrimination while working for the campaign. 16 states from California to Connecticut have filed a lawsuit challenging President Trump's national emergency declaration, arguing the declaration violates the Constitution's separation of powers.
CNN's Pamela Brown picks up the story.
Donald Trump's self-declared national emergency getting its first big challenge in court today. 16 states filing a lawsuit exactly as the president predicted.
We will have a national emergency, and we will then be sued, and they will sue us in the Ninth Circuit, even though it shouldn't be there, and we will possibly get a bad ruling, and then we'll get another bad ruling, and then we'll end up in the Supreme Court.
And the court that could hear the case, the Ninth Circuit, which often rules against the president on some of his most controversial policies.
I think I called it exactly, right? Including the fact that they would put him into the Ninth Circuit. That's where they put him in. And I think we'll do very well. We have absolute right to do that. I have an absolute right to call national security. We need strong borders.
California Attorney General Javier Becerra is taking the lead in the case, arguing Trump is circumventing Congress and illegally taking money allocated to states to fund the wall along the U.S.-Mexico border.
We're going to try to halt the president from violating the Constitution, the separation of powers, from stealing money from Americans and states that has been allocated by Congress lawfully.
New Mexico's Attorney General taking it one step further.
The president cannot act like a king.
And a new poll out today by NPR shows only 36% of registered voters approve of the president's national emergency declaration to build the wall, while 61% disapprove.
And stay tuned, Andres. We'll be back with your national forecast.
But first, find out why more people are getting heart attacks. More on that when News 22 continues.
Whether you're building tables, cabinets, or chairs, American Woodshop is here to guide you the entire way. Hi, I'm Norma Bichot, Program Manager for KRWG. Join host Scott Phillips as he shares new techniques and tips in the construction of projects you can do at home. Tune in Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. for American Woodshop as they build their way into your new home. For more programming information, visit krwg.org.
Join KRWG Public Media for a coffee talk and visit in Alamogordo. Join us Thursday, February 21st from 9 to 11 in the morning at Patrons Hall, located at 1106 North New York Avenue. Meet with KRWG staff to discuss public media in Alamogordo at Patrons Hall. We'll see you there on February 21st from 9 to 11 in the morning.
Welcome back. You're watching News 22 Wednesday,
where news matters.
If you haven't gotten your flu shot, it's not too late.
The New Mexico Department of Health Cabinet Secretary Kathy Krunkel says that getting your flu shot is the best way to not only protect yourself, but others around you. Children under 5 years old, adults over the age of 65, and anyone with chronic health conditions are strongly advised to get vaccinated. The department offers flu shots to those who do not have health insurance. Startling new statistics about young women and heart attacks.
A new study published in the journal Circulation says young people with heart attacks now make up 1/3 of hospital admittance. Meredith Wood has more in today's Health Minute.
Between 1995 and 2014, there was a 10% increase in the number of women ages 35 to 54 admitted to the hospital for a heart attack. The number for men in the same age bracket increased by 3%. Researchers said one reason behind the sharp increase could be that young women are more likely to have health insurance than young men and more likely to seek medical treatment as a result. Each year, nearly 800,000 Americans have a heart attack, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. And over the past couple of decades, risk factors for heart disease like obesity and diabetes have been on the rise.
You're starting to see the end consequences of these things, significant heart disease, heart attacks in an increasingly younger population.
No matter your age, it's important to understand and recognize the symptoms of a heart attack.
When it comes to women specifically, a lot of times the symptoms they may have may be a little bit different than sort of the classic Hollywood heart attack where someone's clutching their chest. They may have symptoms of unusual nausea and vomiting that come out of nowhere, sweating. It could be back pain.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Meredith Wood.
Park officials at the Grand Canyon State Park are issuing a warning to anyone who has visited in the last 2 decades. The Park Museum's collection building between 2000 and June of 2018 had unsafe levels of uranium. The element was found in 3 buckets stored near an exhibit. The Park Service has since removed the uranium and thrown it away in a uranium mine. Officials believe the exposure was non-hazardous to park visitors. The U.S. Department of Interior and state officials are investigating the incident to see how this happened.
The U.S. Capitol's next Christmas tree will be coming from New Mexico. U.S. Forest Service says the tree will be coming from Carson National Forest just outside Taos. The state will also be sending 70 smaller trees to spread across other buildings in Washington. People from communities across the state will help hand make the ornaments that will be displayed on the tree. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham says she is proud that the next Capitol Christmas tree will be coming from New Mexico.
So I hear that the rest of the country has been facing some winter storms.
And hopefully we don't get any of that. Andres is next with the national forecast.
Well, I guess it's time to crush those hopes because we are going to see some of those winter storms. Not in the bulk of snow, though, but look at this map in our general 48 states right here. We can see a lot colder air pushing down from the north, 5 degrees in Rapid City, 16 in Denver. But our next map is going to show us what that winter storm is looking for us. We have a snowstorm moving into tonight, into the weekend, affecting most areas of New Mexico as well as the Four Corners region. We're going to see whiteout conditions for most of these areas. So if you're traveling along I-40 or the 17 near Flagstaff or any of the mountain regions like the Gilas, it's always best to stay cautious on the roadways and stay indoors. Now our next map is going to show what that may mean for us here in the borderland. Well, into the weekend, this storm right here is going to move on eastward and it's going to produce some rain showers coming this Friday. I'll detail more of that after the break.
Morning Edition, weekdays from 5 to 9 on 90.7 FM and streaming live on KRWG.org.
on Masterpiece.
Gottenhimmer.
What is it?
Bertie will be my legacy. Can you imagine him as king?
Where the blazes have you been?
The issue is not whether you are liked, it is whether you are respected.
You have everything, and you don't even know how lucky you are. Victoria on Masterpiece. Thursday at 8 p.m.
Variety Studio Actors on Actors lets you listen in for the ultimate Hollywood insider experience.
To me, the foundation of good acting is always good reacting.
It was new territory for me.
You should feel like you're going to be pushed. That's the point. You're an artist.
With Glenn Close and Sam Elliott, Armie Hammer and Dakota Johnson, and Chadwick Boseman and Viggo Mortensen.
Thursday at 9 p.m.
Welcome back to News 22. Let's take a look at our current temperatures across the beautiful state of New Mexico. Right now, it's chilly. 26 degrees in Santa Fe, 28 in Farmington, 30 in Gallup, 37 in Albuquerque, 38 in Clovis, as well as Socorro, freezing in Ruidoso, and 40 here in the city of Cruces, as well as 42 in Deming. Now, as for tomorrow, we are going to stay a little warmer than we were yesterday, but warming not too much in Santa Fe, 38 degrees. That's currently the temperature they are right now, and that's their expected high for tomorrow. 47 in Albuquerque, 48 in Socorro, 55 in Las Cruces, and 54 in Deming. Now for tonight in Alamogordo, we're looking at below freezing temperatures, 29 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and a high of 56 for tomorrow. TRC is going to look at a low of 30 degrees tonight, partly cloudy skies, and a high of 54. Silver City is going to get that bulk of that snow again, but they're looking at windier conditions for tomorrow. That's what that system is going to produce. 42 degrees is their expected high, and a low of 22 tonight. And for us here in the city of the Cruces, 27 degrees is our expected low tonight, 55 for tomorrow. Stay tuned for your 5-day forecast coming up.
A truck driver is in custody after a big meth bust on the U.S.-Mexico border.
That's the first on today's Southwest Minute.
Agents found 900 pounds of methamphetamine at the Texas border. It was in a truck carrying frozen strawberries into the U.S. Border Patrol says the estimated value is almost $13 million. The truck driver is in custody of Homeland Security investigation agents. A Texas man is being charged with capital murder in the stabbing death of his 2-year-old daughter. 26-year-old Giovannis Rock was arrested Tuesday morning in the town of Orange after a neighbor called the police. Child Protective Services say they've never been called to the home and no other children live there. The search is on for the person who left an 8-month-old German Shepherd at a California animal shelter. Shelter workers found the dog clinging for life in the overnight drop box. The dog was half his weight he should be, and his ribs were visible. He's gaining weight and expected to make a full recovery. For tonight's Southwest Minute, I'm Stephanie Mendez.
So I wasn't at the basketball last night, but I heard we had a big win.
Hopefully Michaela Romero will tell us a little bit more next with sports. Thanks, guys. Coming up in sports, the women's track team is preparing for the Indoor WAC Championships, and both the men's and women's basketball teams are on winning streaks. Don't go too far because News 22 Sports is next.
Go behind the scenes with Variety Studio Actors on Actors.
I started writing musicals because I really wanted to be in musicals.
Featuring an exclusive and in-depth conversation between Lady Gaga and Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I got to do something I have wanted to do my whole life, which is be an actress.
Thursday at 9:30 p.m.
Take me home.
Country music superstar Brad Paisley comes home to his favorite West Virginia location.
The stadium, Mountaineer Field. We're Mountaineers, volunteers. We're the tide that rolls the Seminoles. We're heard along.
Look for Brad Paisley at WVU on Landmarks Live in Concert, a Great Performances special.
Friday at 9 p.m.
This is KRWG-TV News 22 Sports.
Welcome back. I'm Michaela Romero, and let's talk sports. The men's basketball team has been grinding this season, and fans have finally been able to show their support for the Aggies at these past home games this past week. The men's basketball team is continuing their 12-game winning streak with only 4 more games until the WAC championships. Last night, they beat Texas A&M with a score of 80-42. The men will have another home game this weekend to take out UT Rio Grande Valley this Saturday at 4. The New Mexico State women's basketball team will also be taking on UT Rio Grande Valley this upcoming weekend. The women have been consistent with a 10-game winning streak. They beat Seattle U this past weekend with a score of 83-72 and are determined to keep their streak going. The Aggies will be heading to Edinburgh, Texas to take on the Vaqueros on Saturday at 6. The women's track team is preparing for the WAC Indoor Championships that is coming up this weekend. The ladies are coming back from a bye week and are setting the bar high with a strong season and shattering records in the school's record book. The Aggies will be competing in Boise, Idaho on Friday and Saturday at the Ford Idaho Center. This week's Athletes of the Week are Nate Gonzalez and Victoria Castro. Nick is a sophomore from Arizona and he plays infielder and outfielder. And Victoria Castro is a senior from Albuquerque and she plays outfielder. Taekwondo is not a common sport that you may hear about, but it may be a good idea to look into it. A local gym is encouraging everyone, and especially females of all ages, to take a self-defense class, and I go to the gym to find out why.
Always on your feet.
8-year-old Jordan loves coming to Gym Magic. Her parents have put her in many sports, but Taekwondo self-defense is her favorite. She was diagnosed with autism when she was just 2 years old. Her parents want her to be where she feels safe and confident.
Her confidence and her ability to be able to interact with other students, that was the big goal here. And I think she's getting that.
Richard and Larissa are proud of their daughter's progress, and they're more confident she'll be able to take care of herself.
If something were to happen, instinctively, hopefully she'll know what to do. Like if somebody tries to grab her, she'll know what to do and not think really too much of it and just be able to get out of that situation.
Instructor Ivan Galactic believes everyone should learn self-defense, but especially girls and women.
We're living in a really difficult world, and I think that every person needs to ask that question to themselves.
After hearing about incidents that are happening on campus and on the news, he encourages females of any age to take a self-defense class, and that is why he offers a 15 and up class. He says the key to improvement is better education.
We need to approach that problem completely different through education from early age, that we teach our children that we are the same.
Because he says females can be strong and they can be ninjas, just like Jordan. Michaela Romero, News 22. And that's all for sports tonight. Join us for more sports action tomorrow. Still ahead on News 22, Andres will be back to take a look at your 5-day forecast. But first, Los Angeles is turning up the lights for Hollywood's biggest stars. What movie awards enter their 91st year is next on News 22 Wednesday.
Charlie Pride wanted to become the next Jackie Robinson. Instead, he became the first black country music superstar.
He sang it so much better than so many of the good country artists at the time.
Look for Charlie Pride,
The Jackie Robinson of country music.
on American Masters.
Friday at 8 p.m.
On this episode of the American Woodshop, we dig into scroll saw art and carving with Ray Kidman of California. And Susie, what do you share?
Well, I'm doing my scroll saw art after we did some work on the CNC. Lots of great ideas.
Saturday morning at 8:30 on KRWG-Public Media.
Where were you hit?
It hit me in the right tibia, right at the part where it begins to get a little bit bigger. That subsequently is the load-bearing bone, and it broke the fib.
We can recruit cells from the body whose job it is to help heal and stimulate cells, bring blood supply to an area of injury.
I'm Dr. Peter Salgo. Join us this week for Second Opinion.
Sunday at 1:30 p.m.
Let's take a look at our top stories. The Las Cruces International Film Festival is back in town, and reporter Denise Nakara met the star of the evening. Donald Trump is being sued by 16 states because of his declaration of national emergency. And a new study shows young people make up 1/3 of patients admitted for having heart attacks.
The red carpet is rolled out and ready for the 91st Academy Awards. The Oscars will take place Sunday at the Dolby Theater in Los Angeles, California. Hundreds of celebrities and nominees will step out to be photographed ahead of the ceremony. Fashion will take center stage on the red carpet with big names like Emma Stone, Bradley Cooper, and Helen Mirren. The show will air on ABC at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
I know I'm super weird, so I do like a whole little like Oscar bingo type of thing.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't seen A Star Is Born, but I hear it's so good.
So good.
I've heard that too, yeah.
Let's move to weather though. We gotta dance in the rain, I guess, this Friday, because we're having some showers moving into our area. 53 degrees is our high. That's our main story for this coming weekend. We have our first of storm systems moving in, which is tomorrow. We're gonna have those windier conditions, breezy on the breezy end. Then we have those rain coming in on Friday. Saturday, we're gonna start warming up into our average temperatures, 64 by Monday, and hopefully we can see those spring-like temperatures by the start of next week.
Hopefully, but
so.
The rain is good, yeah.
I mean, we need more moisture here. We've been really dry. I know I feel it in my nose. Like, I get bloody noses. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I know. Spring is just not my thing here.
And don't forget, you can catch all of today's aired stories and past newscasts on our YouTube page at youtube.com/KRWG News 22.
And follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat for show updates and the latest on what the News 22 team is up to. And that's all for News 22 Wednesday. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight.
Tune in tomorrow for the latest news across the Southwest. I'm Victoria Valderrama.
I'm Danielle Gutierrez.
And I'm Andres Fayed.
Good night.
Good night.
Good.
This news brief en español is brought to you by Noticias 22, Spanish language news for southern New Mexico and West Texas. Noticias 22.
Bienvenidos a este breve informativo de Noticias 22. Francisco Soto con ustedes. Es conocido como un actor que puede tomar decenas de papeles en sus películas. Hace más de 4 meses que estuvo en las Cruces para la grabación de la película Walking with Herb. Estamos hablando de Edward James Olmos. El gran actor regresó a Las Cruces ayer lunes para el Festival Anual del Cine de Las Cruces. El festival presentó la película La balada de Gregorio Cortés, cual es basada en 1901 en Texas, y Olmos toma el personaje principal donde es acusado de un homicidio. Olmos fue reconocido con el premio humanitario Mark Meadow y por sus contribuciones a la producción del cine en Las Cruces y por todo el mundo. Olmos es conocido por su actuación en Miami Vice, Stand and Deliver y Mi Familia. El departamento del sheriff del condado de Doña Ana está investigando una muerte de un joven de 20 años de Anthony, Nuevo México, que pudo haber sido atropellado accidentalmente por un vehículo en su hogar. El incidente fue reportado después de las 5 de la tarde. Testigos quienes pasaron por el lugar de la escena reportaron ver a un hombre bajo una Chevrolet pickup. Después de investigaciones, se cree que el hombre, Aram Dorado Marín, empezó el motor de su vehículo y salió del vehículo para abrir la puerta de la entrada de la propiedad. Se cree que la troca rodó hacia atrás, donde atropelló al hombre. Dorado fue pronunciado muerto en la escena. Gracias por su atención. Para Noticias 22, Francisco Soto.